Alrighty, let's try this again and see what's going on. Hopefully, you guys can come back on, actually hear it, and it will not be spinning. So, trying it again, let me shoot a text over to some of you guys to see if you can hear and see now. Um, let's see. Not the way I wanted to start this YouTube live business, but that's sometimes the way it goes. So we'll see what happens. So if you're just joining me for the first time, I'm Coach Brenda Hare. I'm an author, speaker, coach. I coach people on publishing and telling the stories that God has given them, all for His glory. So we do a Writing Wednesday episode every Wednesday. Excuse me. This is our first time trying to go live on. Yay! I'm unstuck. Okay. Thank you, Shelly. You're right. The first one never goes as planned, right? Let's hope it stays unstuck. Please, Lord, let it stay unstuck. Okay. Because I was 15 minutes into the other one, right? But here we go. So today, if you're just joining me, Writing Wednesday, we go live every Wednesday. This is our first live on YouTube, but you can go back on the channel and watch some of the previous episodes. If you're a writer, an author marketing your own books, if you're anywhere in the process of building your author career, this channel is for you. So make sure you subscribe so you get notified when I do go live or when I upload other videos. They'll all be here for you. So, and you'll be notified. So today we're talking about 2 words that will kill your writing process. They will kill your writing ideas. They will kill your goals. They're just killers. Okay. 2 words. The 2 words, especially if you got my email, are ego and expectations. Ego and expectations. Expectations is a word. My mom told me this a long time ago. I was like a tween. This was before tweening was even a word, right? And she said, expectations will let you down every time. And I thought, well, that's really negative. And at first I didn't really understand because I didn't really understand what she meant by expectations. But then as I learned, I thought, well, that's really negative. But then over the years, I have learned that she's right. We cannot control the outcome of hardly anything. I mean, we really can't, right? People will say, well, you can control your diet, you can control your health, you can control. No, you really can't control those things. Trust me. Read my book, my first book, if you think you can control those things. You can influence those things, but ultimately you don't have full control. So, what you want to focus on instead of expectations is obedience. Stop focusing on the outcome and focus on obedience. Focus on just doing what you're supposed to be doing and let God be in control of the outcome. Okay. Let Him handle it. If He's called you to write, He's got this. Okay. This is what expectations will do for you. If you'll start hearing yourself, well, this should be better. I should make this better. I should improve this. I really want this video to go viral. Like even today, my expectations were that the video would go live and it would work. And like right now, I'm sitting here going, oh, great. There's this other video half maybe on YouTube, maybe not. I don't know. Now I have to go and delete it and do all the blah, but I don't care. You know why? Because God's in control of the outcome. If I get a bunch of new viewers, great. If I don't, that's fine too. Whatever happens, He's in control of it. It's all like Shelly said, it all happens the first time, right? We can't control it. So I could sit here and beat myself up for 20 minutes about it or even longer. Or I could just say, you know what? I'm live now. You guys can hear me. Let's just move on and move on. Okay. You can't control everything. And the more you try to control and say, oh, I want this to go viral and I want this to be the bestseller and I want this to be, sell 1,000 books at this event and the more we put that pressure to perform, the less we're even going to want to be there, much less perform, right? We have to enjoy the writing process. It's not a writing performance. It's a process. So enjoy it, explore where God's taking you, what new books He's asking you to write, what stories He's asking you to tell, what lessons He's asking you to convey. Just be obedient. Be obedient and forget about the outcome. And here's the thing. We all have bad writing. We all have bad writing days. We all have blips like today where things just don't work. We all have those things. So if we're constantly comparing ourselves to someone's perfect, polished, whatever, we're just going to be stuck for a long time, right? We have to just go and do it. If I was so hung up on being perfect on YouTube, you wouldn't be listening to me right now, right? But because I'm like, "I'm going for it. We're just gonna go over here and try this platform live for the first time and see what happens. We're just gonna do it," right? Great point that I seriously needed. Okay, I wanna know the point, Yvonne. Tell me what point you needed today. Tell me which one hit you hard. Um, because I wanna know specifically what resonated with you. Okay, so now we have this expectations thing, and we're gonna learn how to let go of it. We're gonna learn how to just release it and say, "Okay, God, I'm not in control. You are. I'm gonna be obedient, and I'm gonna let you handle the rest," and see how that feels. It's gonna feel pretty darn good. I know Lisa and I have talked about this. Lisa and I have known each other for probably 16 years. And we have talked about this many, many times because we're both reforming control freaks. And we have talked about this. Like, it's easier not to be in control. It really is easier if you just say, okay, you know, I'm not going to be in control. I'm going to do my part. I'm going to show up, but I'm not going to have to be the one in control. And when you let that go, whew, it's just so much easier. But we have to keep letting it go because we keep trying to pick it back up and take control and make everything perfect. And it's this safe thing, right? That we're trying to control and form, and we're trying to make it safe for ourselves. We don't have to make it safe. God called us here. He wouldn't call us to somewhere that's not safe. Now, He may call us to somewhere that is fully relying on Him, or we have to fully rely on Him. He may certainly call us to that. He's called me to that. I don't know about you guys. I am fully relying on Him. If I was doing this in my own might, it would look way different, right? And so I just thank God that He's the one in control and that we can do our part and surrender the rest to Him, surrender the outcome. Okay, now let's talk about ego. As I was saying before in the former video, um, some of you may be like, I don't struggle with ego. I don't have a problem with my ego. Like, I'm not egotistical. I'm not a narcissist, right? A lot of people will associate the two, but it's not about that. It's just hearing that little voice in your head that says, "You should make it sound better. You should reword that to make it sound smarter. You should use bigger words. Make it sound deeper. Make sure they like you. Don't offend them. You want them to like you." It's all of these things that are you're trying to make it this way, make it that way. It shifts your focus from serving your reader to proving your worth. Ego shifts your focus from serving your reader to proving your worth. If you have known me or you have any of my books, you know that worth is the topic that I stand on, right? It is, I want people to know their worth. I want them to know that they're worthy. It's not about proving your worth, it's about standing in it. You are already worthy. Now just be you, right? God makes us worthy. Our own tasks and to-dos and books don't make us worthy. None of these books up here make me worthy. I don't have to prove my worth. My worth is found in Christ. Now, what these books do are share the story of His work in my life. They share what's possible. They share, I mean, there's so much that this validates for His glory, but it doesn't prove my worth. These books don't make me worthy, more or less worthy, right? Because I have 10 of them. Now, it may validate to you that I know what I'm talking about, I hope, because I've published 10 books. I've been there. This is where you want to be with your reader. You want to be serving them, just reaching back and pulling them along with you, right? This is where I feel like I sit with my community. Most of you are in my community. Thank you for being here. I've been there. I've been stuck. I've been there with that first book, that second book, the marketing, the all the things, right? I've been there. So now I'm just turning around saying, "Hey, let me bring you along. Let me show you what I did to get past that hurdle, to get past," right? It's about serving. The worth part, I don't have to prove my worth. I'm worthy because of God, but my expertise comes from the fact that you can see that I have been where you're trying to go, right? You want to be a published author selling your books or book. And because I'm doing that actively, you can see that. And that is showing you, that's giving you the credibility that you need to work with me. But it doesn't prove my worth. My worth doesn't come from that. So when your ego starts to creep in And it starts tying your worth into your project, into your writing. Well, what will people think of me? Oh, if I put this out there, what if someone says this about me? Or, oh, they're going to know so much about me. Well, guess what? If you're writing a book about yourself, they're going to know about you. If you're using your own stories, they're going to know about you. It's the most authentic thing you can do is to share a vulnerable thing, to share your story from your heart, but that's what touches the reader. That's what draws them in. If I was to show up perfect every time I showed up somewhere and everybody has perception. Some people may be like, "Well, you do show up perfect." No, I don't. Okay. This is not my idea of perfection anyway. Um, you have to let that go and just be yourself, right? If I was to sit here and think about all the things about myself that I don't like and that I want to fix, the ego starts thinking, well, you can't say that word because it doesn't sound professional, or you can't do that, or you have to be this way or that way, or sit this way, or not use your hands, or use your hands, or stop it, right? Stop the madness, let go of the ego, and just show up and tell the story God asked you to tell. It's that simple. Just show up and say, here's what God put on my heart. Here it is. Do it in your writing, do it in your lives, do it in all. Lisa says, oh, those poor people. Now they're going to get to know me and they're going to love you, Lisa. And I can say that honestly because I love you. Um, okay, Yvonne's point she said earlier she loved was if God called me to write, he will make a way. Obedience is the key. That's exactly it. If he's called you to this, obedience is the key, right? We could get hung up. Yvonne's on book 2. She's working on book 2. She's got book 1 published. She's got it in a couple stores now, at least 3 that I know of. So congratulations for that, Yvonne. She's doing the work. She's being obedient. She's marketing her first book. She's writing her second book. She's being obedient. She could sit here and beat herself up and go, well, I've only sold X number of books since I published, and maybe this isn't for me, and blah, 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 blah. I was watching a video yesterday of a lady, and if this doesn't give y'all encouragement, she's a travel specialist, expert, I don't know. She's a solo traveler. It's for women who travel by themselves. And it happened by chance. She was on a trip with some friends and they left her behind. And so she had to fly home by herself. And so she started to realize, I can do this. I made it back from that trip okay. I still want to travel, whether people want to go with me or not. And so she started to travel and she started to just post videos and share and this kind of thing. So then people started asking her questions about it. If people are asking you questions about a certain topic, hello, Lisa. Hello, Yvonne, right? They're asking you about your prayer rooms. How did you start this up? What should I include in mine? Lisa, how did you tell me about Isaac? Tell me about your family. This is incredible. Like they're asking you the questions they want to know. So share the information in a book, in a course, in a whatever, right? So this lady, they were asking her questions and she started to share it in a course. And she put the course out, and the first month, I think she got 1 sale. And she was like, "Oh, well, that's encouraging. 1 whole sale. Ooh, woohoo, okay." But she kept on showing up and doing her part. She knew that she wanted to travel. People were asking her. She was gonna just keep showing up, and she just kept dropping the link for that course and dropping the link for that course. On the 6th month, a lady bought her course and began traveling based on that her course information. And the lady reached out 6 months later and said, "You don't know this." Maybe it was 4 months into 6 months. I think the lady bought it at month 4, and by month 6 is when she reached out. Either way, incredible story because the lady, like you never know, right? She could have ended at month 2, she had no sales. Month 1, she had 1 sale. Month 2, 0. Month 3, maybe a couple. Month 4, at least the one lady, right? She could just like forget it. This is so slow. It's not working. Whatever. The lady takes the course, goes on to travel to like, I don't know, some crazy amount of countries. Like the lady herself that's running this, she's traveled to over 82 countries by herself and to over 87 total. Most people don't know that many countries even exist, even, much less travel to them. Um, But the lady reached out to her and said, "You don't know this, but I bought your course, and I've traveled to X number of countries by myself since taking your course. And I'm the editorial writer for," I think it was Forbes. It was a major magazine, "and I'd like to write a story about you." The lady went on to write the story about her. She was published in, like, several major magazines. She was on all the major TV shows, and she's made over $1.5 million off of her course. Are y'all tracking with me here? It was not about outcome when this lady started. She did not say, "Well, I need to make $1 million the first month or I'm out of here." She didn't say, "I need to do this, that." She just wanted to travel and was answering her audience's questions. That's it. She wanted to travel and she wanted to answer her audience's questions about traveling. So she created the course, she put it out there. She mentioned it every now and then, just like I'll mention now, if you want to be part of my community and you're not already, publishandtell.com, go check it out. You can be part of my community and I'll walk alongside you through your publishing, marketing, all of it, writing, publishing, marketing, and building your author business. That's what I do. That's most of y'all are in that. It's an incredible journey when people can come alongside you that have been where you are and are going where you want to go, right? That's all that happened with this lady. She just kept doing what she was doing. She just kept plugging along and God was like, "Watch this." Boom. And it just took off. And in 19 months, she'd made $1.5 million with that course. Incredible, right? You and maybe money is not your goal. Maybe that's not your goal at all. Maybe it's you want to impact a certain number of people, you want to sell a certain number of books, whatever that is, you just have to keep being obedient, keep showing up,